Okay, guys, so why don't we get started and then anyone else that wants to join can drop in. We're going to go until 1 p.m. So for anyone that's joining this for the first time, the purpose of this is really just to benefit you guys. I want you to have the best use of your time, really concentrated hour to help you with your campaigns. If you're struggling, if you've hit a wall, how can I help you with your lead generating efforts? Do you have challenges in certain areas? Do you have a strategy that you want to run by me? Basically, it's about big picture, strategic coaching and guidance that I can help you. Any technical questions I can better address as individual posts. Hi, Fatma. Thanks for joining us. So technical questions are better served in the group as a post. If you get stuck, just post, show me your screen, screenshot your numbers. You can post a link to your landing page. But for this conversation, I want to talk more about big picture strategy. What really moves the needle? What really generates the most success? So that's really the purpose of today. And I want you guys to just feel comfortable to ask questions, fire away. There's no particular order. Anyone that's got a question, just comment in the comment section below and I'll answer your questions one at a time. And basically, hopefully you get some great value out of it. So whoever wants to start, just fire away your question. Hi, Fatma, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hope everyone had a great summer. So tell me how I can help, guys. The floor is yours. No question is a bad question. Where are you getting stuck? What challenges are you having? Where are the gaps? I've done everything I possibly can to make the modules as comprehensive and clear as possible, but obviously there's going to be some questions, there's going to be some confusion that comes up. That's really what this live stream is designed for. So don't hesitate, fire away your questions, guys. What's going on in your campaigns? Are you having challenges in a particular area? Are you having success? Share success. Inspire the others, inspire the group. Success stories are awesome. I know we've had a lot of great results in the group and there's a lot of really good momentum. Robin Chung's been doing very well. Congratulations, Robin. Last time I spoke to Robin, he had written his, I believe, 5th deal, Robin, since you signed up. Deal number 5, if I'm not mistaken, which is incredible. So I love hearing success stories as well. So feel free to share any breakthroughs, any ahas. The more that I can inspire you guys with each other's success, not just my track record, but with each other's success, I think it's really helpful for those of you that might be newer or just getting started. Okay, so Fatma says, I need help strategizing and have a plan. I'll reach out to you as it's a much longer conversation. That's fine, Fatma. I mean, you can fill me in on the details later, but do you want to talk about the big picture strategy and just what you have in mind? I'd be happy to give you some feedback right now and you can share your thoughts. What's going on with your campaigns, guys? What are you working on? Are you doing Facebook? Are you doing Google? Are you getting clicks but no leads? Are you getting leads but you can't follow up and reach people? Are you reaching people but you can't get them into the office for an appointment? Are you having problems just getting anything started? What's going on? Tell me. Reach out. Don't be shy. I want to help you guys. This is for you guys. I want to support you and really, I want you to succeed. Are you guys doing Facebook lead ads? Are you having people fill out a form or are you directing people to a landing page? I teach you how to do both in the course. Curious to know what you guys are focusing on. Landing page or generating the lead directly within a Facebook lead form? Are you doing Google? Are you focused on specific neighborhood campaigns? Are you doing any open house promotions? What are you working on? What's happening? Hi, Tammy. So Tammy said, if you had to choose one, Facebook or Google, what would you choose? So it really depends, Tammy. They're both very, very effective. Me personally, I've had a lot of success using Facebook for marketing specific listings. So Facebook is very powerful if you're advertising a particular listing, because then you're going to attract people that are starting to really shortlist their favorite options and their favorite properties. So if you have a listing, it doesn't necessarily have to be yours. You can advertise another agent's listing as long as you get written permission, and you can really find a lot of interest that way for people that, respond to the property. They like the photos, they like the layout, and a lot of these people are past the point of just casually browsing, because now they're starting to shortlist and they're starting to really respond to their favorite properties. Whereas Google is really effective if you're promoting a specific neighborhood, because with Google, people are actually typing into Google search. So they're Googling, North York homes for sale, or 2-bedroom downtown condos for sale, or pre-construction condos for sale. Now, because of the nature of Google, when people search online, they're not searching for a specific listing. So that's why when you market a specific listing, it works more effectively for Facebook because it's very visual. With Google, it's all text. You can't use photos, you can't use videos. So with Google Ads, it's all just text. You're just writing a headline, you're writing some ad copy, and then you're including a call to action, like click here to learn more. So my success has been Google for neighborhood promoting. So for example, King West condos for sale, downtown luxury penthouses for sale, Hyde Park homes for sale, Mississauga homes for sale, or specific types of properties like 4-bedroom detached homes, waterfront properties for sale, rural properties, commercial real estate. So you have to think in terms of, why is the buyer using Google? They're using Google to get information on a neighborhood or a type of property. But on Facebook, they're responding to specific listings. They're seeing a listing on their newsfeed and they're saying, you know what? That looks good. I like that video. I like those photos. I like that neighborhood. And then they're making an inquiry. So I hope that makes sense. They're both very, very powerful. I wouldn't say that one is better than the other. I'd say they're used for different reasons. And my best advice is to start with one until you get some traction and you get comfortable with it. And then once you've got some traction and some consistency and you've got leads coming in, then you can focus on the other one. So I did Google Ads for 2.5 years before I even touched Facebook, because I really wanted to master it. And I was having so much success and I was doing so many deals and I just had more leads than I could keep up with. So I kept reinvesting into Google. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've included both in the course because some people would prefer to start with one over the other, but it's important that you don't stretch yourself too thin, especially if you're just getting started. Start with one, learn it, get comfortable, and then once you have some consistency, you can start to layer in another pillar. It's just like if you're starting out door knocking. When I door knocked, it took me 8 months to get my first listing. So I was very focused on sharpening my script, my approach, getting comfortable at the door, really getting those appointments and really getting into the rhythm. I ingrained the habit so that it was like clockwork. It was like brushing my teeth. I didn't think about it. I was just doing it consistently week in and week out. And then once I had some traction and I was getting listings, then I started to do some online lead generating. So this is way before I even started Facebook and Google. Originally, I started by door knocking. And I realized I have to do something else. So that's when I started studying Google, Facebook, and I just got obsessed with this whole world, and it really kind of led me to where I am now. But the point is, start with one, get comfortable, get traction, and then you can layer in another. But again, just to kind of reiterate, this is a really important point, and I think it's going to help a lot of people in the group. Facebook is primarily for targeting people for specific listings that you're promoting. One property or a pre-construction project. Pre-construction has been amazing with Facebook. I've generated thousands of leads for various pre-construction properties across the city because you create a feeling of exclusivity. You create sort of a VIP experience. It's all about triggering people's emotions. You know, I talk about it in my course. Get in early, 50% sold out, VIP pricing, not open to the general public. You create an experience. It's always an emotional experience that get people taking action. People take action emotionally and they justify with logic, but it's advertising and sales in general always begins with triggering people's emotions. So with Facebook, you can really use that because you can use photos, videos, carousel ads. It's very visual. Whereas with Google, you're basically bidding on the keywords that people are actually typing in. What words are they using? Are they using High Park homes for sale? Are they searching High Park houses for sale? Are they searching houses for sale in High Park, homes for sale in High Park? Inverting. Are they using High Park real estate for sale? All of that data is available through the Google Ads keyword tool. So then you take those keywords and you reverse engineer your approach. The powerful thing about Google is there's intent. People are actively searching for something. Whereas with Google, with Facebook, it's a little more passive, where you're putting a message in front of someone and trying to get them interested. But they're both extremely powerful. They both work exceptionally well. They just work differently for different reasons. For Google Ads, do you advertise condos for sale in North York or one-bedroom condo for sale in North York? That's a great question, Hannah. You can do both. So the general rule of thumb is the more specific the key phrase in Google, the less traffic there's going to be. So if you think about it, there's going to be a lot more people Googling condos for sale in North York versus one-bedroom condo for sale in North York, because it's just a broader pool of people, right? It's a little more generic. It's good to include both, though. Ultimately, the great thing about Google is you don't have to guess. You just go in the Google keyword research tool and you type in what you want to check, and it tells you the average monthly searches. So that way you don't have to guess. It's more of a science. Google is very much a science where the data tells you what's working. For example, there are 72 average monthly searches in the GTA for people Googling real estate for sale or homes for sale. Now that might sound amazing, 72,000, you're gonna get hundreds of leads every month. But the problem is those people don't really know what they want. If you think about the mindset of somebody Googling, typing in the words real estate for sale, what's the mindset of that person? They don't know where they wanna live. They haven't specified a neighborhood. They haven't specified a type of property. Real estate for sale is incredibly broad. So you're gonna get a ton of leads, but you're gonna get a lot of low quality leads of people that have no idea what they want. They're probably not that qualified. There's gonna be some deals that come out of it, don't get me wrong, but you're gonna be paying for a lot of low quality leads. It's gonna be a lot of volume, not that much quality, versus North York condos for sale, one bedroom condo in North York. Now you know a few key pieces of information. You know that they want to be in North York, which means they are already starting to shortlist their neighborhoods, right? That they know where they want to be. So they're way ahead of somebody that's just Googling real estate for sale or condos for sale. So they know where they want to live, number one. They know what type of home they want, a condo. And then if you're using the one bedroom key phrase, you know that they want a one bedroom. So you know where they want to live, the type of property, and the specific floor plan. Do you think that person's going to be more motivated than somebody just typing in condos for sale or real estate or homes for sale? Now, the more specific you get, the smaller the buyer pool gets. So you don't want to be too specific. And again, you don't have to take a guess. You just go on the Google Ads keyword tool, which I show you how to do in the Google section of the course, and you type it in and you see if there's less than 100 or 150 average monthly searches. I don't really, personally, I wouldn't really take the time to set up that campaign because there's not enough traffic. It has to be worth your while. So for me, the limit has to be about 100 average monthly searches. Now, what I have done successfully is I've created multiple campaigns that are very specific, highly targeted, that have about 100 or 150 average monthly searches, because when you combine it, you have enough traffic. So for example, I might have 2-bedroom King West lofts for sale, one campaign. It might only have 100 or 150 average monthly searches, but that's just one. Then I might have Ronsonsvale's 2-story homes for sale. Again, it might only have 100, but that's another one. And again, these are higher quality leads. So there's more work to set up these campaigns because there's lots of them, right? As opposed to just one generic campaign, North York homes for sale or Toronto homes for sale. I'm splitting it up. Each one of these campaigns is tied to a specific landing page, and it's more work to set it up. But once it's set up, these leads are higher quality because I have people specifically Googling King West, 2-bedroom King West lofts for sale, or Ronsonsvale's 2-story homes for sale, or luxury waterfront condos for sale, or High Park detached homes for sale. So you can go specific. You just need to make sure that you have enough people that are searching those terms. I hope that's helpful. Hi, Cynthia. Thanks for joining us. So Hannah's asking, what do I include in my landing page, both 1- and 2-bedroom condos? Great question, Hannah. So every approach that you take has to be directly correlated to that landing page. For example, if you're running a Google ad campaign for a 1-bedroom North York condo, you only want to send that person to a landing page with 1-bedroom North York condos. You don't want to have 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom North York condos. Because if somebody's Googling 1-bedroom North York condos and they respond to an ad that says 1-bedroom North York condo, and on the landing page, the first thing they see is a 2-bedroom North York condo, a big percentage of those people are going to leave because they're going to feel they're not getting what they want. You really have to give people exactly what they want, and don't try and open it up. If you have a 1-bedroom campaign in North York for condos, that's all you want to have on the landing page. And then I would recommend you have a separate campaign that's targeting 2-bedroom North York condos. So you start with the key phrase, people Googling 2-bedroom North York condos, and then your ad should be different. It should say 2-bedroom North York condos, and your landing page should only have 2-bedroom North York condos. You have to segregate and split everything up to perfectly correspond. That's how you do it at the highest level, right? I mean, that's what I would recommend versus just having one page that's, 1-bedroom North York condos, 2-bedroom North York condos, maybe a few North York townhomes. I wouldn't recommend that. Will you still get leads? Of course you'll still get leads. But I know from experience, the more specific it is, the better results by far. Because people feel there's integrity in your message. They feel like there's a term called baiting and switching, where you offer somebody one thing. It's like, clickbait. You offer somebody one thing and you give them something else. And a lot of people assume, well, I want to offer them more. I want to offer them more options. No, online is very fragile. You want to only give people what you've promised. That's how you create trust. And this happens on a subconscious level. People feel comfortable, like you've given them what they've asked for, and they feel subconsciously you're trustworthy. That's how you start the relationship, which makes this business a lot smoother when you started off with that trust. So I hope that's helpful. Who else has got a question? Fire away. What can I help you with? What are you challenged with? What are you struggling with? Any ahas, successes, roadblocks, breakthroughs? I want to hear it all. How can I make this the best use of your time? Don't be shy. Fire away. I hope that makes sense about Google AdWords, everyone. It's really powerful, and I talk a lot about it in the course quite a bit, where you need to have a strategy where you want to be specific with whatever you're targeting. Who else? Who's got a question? This is an open forum, guys. The floor is yours. I don't want to just ramble on. I want to be able to address your questions specifically and really help you succeed. I think I've rambled on enough in the course. I want this to be very focused. David Johann's question. I have been using keyword phrase match, okay? So David says, I have been using the keyword phrase match. Should I be using more than one phrase match in an ad campaign? It depends. Great question, Dave. So sometimes if that phrase match has enough average monthly traffic, then I build a whole campaign around it. Like, for example, if it's Mississauga homes for sale, I think there's over 8,000 average monthly searches or something insane for Mississauga homes for sale. So let's say that's what you're targeting, okay? You don't need to do anything more than that. If you want to go after Mississauga homes, you can just build a campaign around that one key phrase. Or you could have Mississauga homes for sale and then homes in Mississauga for sale, Mississauga houses for sale in Mississauga. So you can take some of the variations and add them as well. But the bottom line is, if you have enough, it all comes down to the average monthly searches. That's why you can't guess. You have to always check the keyword research tool. That thing is a godsend. That tells you where the traffic is coming from. And as long as you have enough average monthly searches, sometimes that's all you need is one really good key phrase. I've had one key phrase drive a campaign for months. King West condos for sale. I think I stuck with that for literally like 6 or 9 months, and it just kept working because it was specific enough that I was getting good quality leads, but it was also broad enough that I was getting a lot of average monthly searches. So sometimes less is more, and you don't want to overcomplicate things. Like, obviously, you have to ask yourself, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? And I'm a big believer in less is more. When you're starting, when you're getting comfortable, less is more. Once you start getting traction with something and you've got leads and you're ready to reinvest in your business and grow your online campaigns, then you can start to build out, niche targeting and niche campaigns. But in the beginning, all you need is like one or two really good key phrases. And David says, currently just focused on one phrase match. And then he goes on to say, what kind of vodka are you drinking that you are pretending it's water? Well, how else would I be so knowledgeable with this stuff, right? I need my fuel, Dave. Water's not going to cut it. So Hannah says, if I have 2 websites and I want to avoid having my Google ads blocked, what do I have to do in this case? Why would your Google ads be blocked? I'm not clear on why that would happen, Hannah. Can you just elaborate on that? If you can avoid having 2 websites, just as a general rule, it's better. I mean, I use Agent Locator for my resale campaigns, as I mentioned in the course, and I use Weebly when I'm promoting a specific listing. But when I started, I was just doing Agent Locator for a while. Again, I layered in another website once I got comfortable, but for a while I was just doing resale. Then I started to promote pre-construction projects and I started to incorporate Weebly, and I was doing listing specific campaigns. But you want to just keep it simple in the beginning. And ideally, you have one site, everything's under one roof. I'm not sure why your Google ads would be blocked though, Hannah. You'll have to, do I need 2 ad groups? I've never tried to run two simultaneous campaigns with two different websites? That's a good question. I don't know if that would be an issue with Google. You might want to Google that. I've never tried that. All of my Google campaigns have always just gone through Agent Locator. When I use Weebly to target pre-construction and individual listings, those are all through Facebook ads. So I've only ever used one website with Google. I don't know if that would be a conflict or an issue if you used multiple sites. But I can't stress this enough. If you're just getting started, I know a lot of you are beginners, start with one. Why I like Agent Locator? A bunch of reasons, but the main thing is it's IDX driven, so that the listings auto update, so it's constantly refreshing, and you can build out multiple landing pages targeting different areas. It's got a powerful CRM. They have great support. So it really is a one-stop shop for the essentials. And then again, for pre-construction and for individual listings, I use Weebly. I create one-off specific websites, but you don't have to juggle multiple platforms. So Hannah says one website is personal and one is generic. Okay. Are they completely different URLs, or like they're completely standalone websites? Okay, so I don't know if that would be a conflict, Hannah, if you ran them simultaneously. I don't think so. I don't see why it would be, as long as your ad matches your landing page, which matches your keywords, and everything is aligned. Google should not block you. You shouldn't have any issues. Google and Facebook just want to make sure at the end of the day that people are not being spammed. They want to make sure that what you're offering in your ad is what you're delivering on your landing page. So as long as you don't write anything controversial or discriminatory in your ad copy itself, and your landing page experience matches what you're offering, it really has to match closely, because again, that affects your quality score with Google. Quality score is a score between 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. The higher your quality score, the cheaper your cost per lead. So Google rewards you when you have a higher relevancy. They reward you with a cheaper cost per click and ultimately a cheaper cost per lead. Facebook works the same way, but they call it a relevancy score. So the more Facebook determines that your ads are relevant and Google determines that your ads are relevant, they score you from 1 to 10, and the higher that score, the cheaper your leads. So keep that in mind, and I talk about that in the course as well. So different URLs, Hannah's saying, completely different websites. I'm not sure about that, Hannah. I've never tried that. I've never tried to run two campaigns simultaneously with different URLs. It's worth a shot. I don't think it would be a problem, but there's only one way to find out. But basically, you want to start as simply as possible with one. I can't stress that enough. You don't want to stretch yourself too thin. You want to start with one site that works, that's simple, that's streamlined. You want to streamline things, because when you're managing like multiple CRMs and multiple websites and multiple ad campaigns, it just gets overwhelming, and you don't want to drown in complexity. And at the end of the day, guys, it all comes down to testing. You have to test different ideas to see what the market actually embraces, what your numbers look like, what your cost per lead looks like. Once you find a winning formula, you can rinse and repeat it, and that's what's amazing about this. So I don't really change my ads that much. Like in Google, I use the same type of wording, the same landing page, the same types of keywords, because I've experimented and I found what works, and that's what I put into my program, and that's what I use. I don't really deviate that much, but I would encourage you to experiment. Obviously, use what I teach you as a guideline, but you don't have to stay rigidly within the lines, because you also want to make it your own. You want to make it, personalized to you, your market. Who are you targeting? Obviously, if I'm targeting first-time buyers, I'm going to use different language than if I'm targeting retirees, for example. So you have to think about your demographic as well. The language that I use in a lot of my advertising really speaks to the young, urban, first-time buyer market, because that's primarily who I serve. So keep that in mind too. Who else has got a question? Anything I can help you with? Any feedback? One thing I have noticed is that the Facebook lead gen ads are starting to perform really, really well. The last 6 to 9 months, people are just very comfortable filling out the form within Facebook. So you don't even have to have a landing page. Now, again, that's if you're targeting a specific listing that they work very well for. So you have a listing, you have a few blurbs, a few highlights, you're triggering people's emotions, and it's very brief, just a couple of quick highlights. You don't want to go on and on and on and write out a whole paragraph, because then it's just too much. You want people to just get excited, get them hooked, and then there's a call to action. Want to receive the listing? Want to learn more? Just fill out the form. And the great thing about that, I talk about it in my program, is they just fill out their info directly, but it actually pre-populates people's phone number and email address. Because if they have their phone number on their Facebook profile, it'll actually pre-populate it. So it saves them a step, and all they have to do is click submit. Now, to automate those leads into your CRM, you have to set up third-party integration through something called Zapier, and I show you how to do that in my course. Versus if you're directing people to a landing page, if you have an agent locator landing page or another website that you're using, it auto imports the leads into your CRM. So with Facebook lead ads, it works differently because the leads actually live in Facebook. So they fill out a form, the leads are in Facebook. You can set up Zapier integration. It's about $20 a month, and I think it's US, in order to use the Pro version. So you have to use the Pro version and subscribe in order to automatically import the leads into your CRM. However, the new Agent Locator CRM allows you to do that. It's built in. So there's auto integration features if you're using the most recent Agent Locator CRM. And there's a video that I posted in the Facebook group where there are steps on how to automatically import from a Facebook ad, lead ad, so lead gen ad, from the form. They fill out the form straight into Agent Locator. So there are different ways of doing it, but I just wanted to mention that Facebook lead generation, that's the campaign type. The lead generation ad campaigns have been working very well lately because it's quicker and easier for people to just click a button rather than to be taken to a landing page. Landing pages still work, and I use them all the time, but I've been experimenting with both, and I encourage you guys to try both as well. Hey, Vicky, thanks for joining us. So yeah, I have a video on Facebook lead generation ads. You should check that out. And I show you how to retrieve the ads within Facebook. So you just have to export them. It's an Excel file. So every 24 hours, you can go in there, you can export the CSV file and then import it into your CRM. Or you can get set up with the new Agent Locator system to automatically import the leads. Or you can set it up through a third-party integration called Zapier. And I give you instructions on how to do that as well in my course. Who else, guys? Fire off some questions. Let me know how I can help. Does Agent Locator update its landing pages on its own? So the great thing about Agent Locator, Hannah, is that it's driven by IDX or VOW, which means that it pulls the data automatically from your MLS board, and it automatically refreshes the listing. So I think there's only a 2-hour delay from the time it gets listed on your local real estate board. Now, they don't work with every real estate board, but they work with most of them. I know they're based in Canada. I know I have some students here in the US. They're based in Canada, but they are entering the US market. I know they work in several states. So check with them to see if they work with your local real estate board. But depending on the board, the listing data gets automatically refreshed so that when someone lands on a community landing page, the listings are all in real time, which is great. So Hannah, check with Agent Locator depending on your board. I don't know where you work out of, to see if they work in your particular market. Yeah, so if you're with Treb, they work throughout the Toronto Real Estate Board. They work with for years, and they work with a bunch of others throughout Canada. And then, like I said, they're just starting to get into the US. So that's what I love, because the listings are all current, they're all updated. So if somebody, lands on my King West Lofts landing page today, they're going to get different listings than if they land on it in 2 days, because it's going to be refreshed, it's going to be all up to date, and it does it automatically. So, you set it up once, and then it just continues to update, which is great because it helps, you don't have to do anything manually. Whenever you can use tools that help automate the process, it really helps streamline. For example, when you set up email automation campaigns that go out automatically when somebody, land on your landing page, submit a form, it just takes a lot of the work off your plate, because now they're getting touched, they're getting contacted, it's happening like clockwork. I had 3 leads sign up yesterday. I'm running a campaign in Etobicoke. I had 3 leads sign up. They all got emailed automatically, an introduction email. And then the next day they get a follow-up email saying, just wondering how you're finding the listings. Because what I do is they sign up. So they're Googling Etobicoke townhomes for sale. And they sign up on the Etobicoke townhomes landing page with Agent Locator. And then they automatically get a thank you email saying, thank you for signing up. It's great that you're thinking of buying a home. This is all in my course. I haven't really changed it at all. It's the same email, introduction email. And that's important because right away it establishes, credibility. Like, wow, this guy's on the ball, he's quick. It sounds like I just emailed them, but it was pre-written. I pre-wrote it, I programmed it to go out as soon as they sign up. So in their minds, they're thinking, wow, this guy's on the ball, he's on top of it, he's already communicating to me, he's already reaching out to me. Then I call them right away. So that email goes out immediately. Then I call them as soon as I can. And if I get them on the phone, then I kind of leapfrog those emails, because now I'm talking to them, I'm asking them questions. So what's motivating your move? How long have you been looking? What's your experience been so far? Do you own a property? Are you renting? What's your time frame? Do you have an agent? Would you like to go out on a home orientation tour to see a few townhomes just to get you familiarized with what's out there? That's kind of my approach. Try and get in front of them as soon as I can. But for the people that don't answer the phone right away, the automation continues to go out. So now if he doesn't answer the phone, I know he's looking for townhomes in Etobicoke, because that's the ad he responded to. He literally typed into Google, Etobicoke townhomes for sale. So I know that's what he's interested in. So if he doesn't answer that first phone call, that's okay. I'm setting him up on an auto prospect match to receive listings in Agent Locator for townhomes in Etobicoke. So the introduction email gets sent out automatically. Then I'm sending him auto prospect match for homes in Etobicoke. With the new Agent Locator CRM, it actually does that automatically. It sends listings automatically. I'm still using the previous generation, so the new one is even more automated. The one that I still use, I have to set that up manually and send him a list of homes in Etobicoke, which takes 2 minutes. But then the following day, he's going to get an email saying, hi, John, just wanted to check in to see what you're finding, to see what you're thinking of, to see how you find the listings in Etobicoke I've sent you. What was your time frame to move again by? Do you want me to change any of the search criteria? So that guy responded to that email this morning. Just before this live stream, he responded and he said, yes, thank you, I received them. And I said, great. What type of, like, how big are you looking for? How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? He told me he's looking for 2 bedrooms, 2 washrooms, 12 to 1400 square feet, around 700,000 to 750. So I sent him a list of options. But the point is, that's just one of, dozens and dozens or hundreds of leads. And the way we got to talk is through the automation. The automation went out. The email's going out automatically that I've pre-written. He's responding to it, and now we're in conversation. So it's extremely powerful to have that set up. Hannah's asking, is the thank you email automation from Agent Locator? Yes, it is, Hannah. It's all through Agent Locator. So I show you how to set up those campaigns. Actually, I show you what the campaigns are, the wording of the emails that I use, and then Agent Locator can actually help you set it up if you contact them. They can connect it to your landing page depending on what landing page you want to trigger what email sequence. Hey, John, good to have you here. So everything I just described to you is Agent Locator. Again, one system, one CRM. You don't necessarily have to use Agent Locator. There are some other good ones out there, but they're the most cost-effective and best value system that I know of to do all of these things. CRM, website, landing pages, email automation. Now they have text message automation. That you have to use a third party called Twilio, which is an extra expense, but you can integrate text message automation, which is starting to become a lot more effective than it used to be. I use texting. I don't automate my text, but I do text people here and there. But I still use email at a high level. I'm always calling people. So the more ways you can reach out to people, the better. Good to see you too, John. Thanks for joining us. Yes, John, this will be posted. So every live stream gets posted, the replay gets posted in the Facebook group. So if you missed this or if you want to watch it again, it automatically gets added to the group, and you can fast forward, you can pause. So that way it can be a resource for you. John says, I look very relaxed. Thank you, sir. Well, I was away for a while in Europe, and yeah, just ready to get back out there and close out the year on a strong note. John, do you have any questions I can help you with? Vicky, can I help you with anything? Cynthia, any questions? Fatma? Nine, Frank, can I help you guys with anything? Don't hesitate. The floor is yours, everyone. What's happening, guys? What are you challenged with? Don't be shy. How can I help? I've been doing this for now, it's been about 6.5 years. So, I want you to lean on my experience. Just throw it out there. No question is a bad question. I can ramble on if you want, but I'd prefer this to be more focused and about you specifically, because there's different directions I can take this. Okay, so John's asking, what do I do with old leads that have not been contacted? I mean, as old as 1 year. That's a great question, John. So here's what I've done, and it works. Send out a mass email to those leads. So through Agent Locator, you can actually send out a mass email to leads that are, up to a specific age, like however long ago they came into your system. And it's one line. It's in the subject, you say hi, and then there's a command to populate their first name. I think it's %, first name, all caps, and then %, but confirm that. So basically it auto-populates their first name in the subject line, okay? So the reason you want to auto-populate the first name is because if you just have a few old leads, you can do it manually. But let's say I have probably hundreds literally hundreds of leads from over 2 years ago. So in that situation, you want to auto-populate the first name through this command. So it inserts their name for each lead in the subject line. When you get an email and it says, "Hi, John," in the subject line, are you more compelled to open that email? Right? I started doing that for everything. I put the person's name in the subject line, and my open rates have shot up through the roof. So that's a pro tip. Whenever you can, put their name in the subject line. Everyone wants to feel you're speaking to them personally. So that's step number one. So the subject line would be, "Hi, John," and then the body of the email is one line. "Are you still looking for a home?" Question mark. That's it. Very simple. And you'd be surprised how many people respond. And they say either, "No, thank you, I bought a place," which is fine, because now you can just declutter your database and you can delete them, wish them well. Or they'll say yes. They'll say, "Just looking." They'll say, "The market's too expensive." Doesn't really matter. As long as they respond, it's an excuse to initiate a conversation. Maybe you lost touch with these people, but even just if they're completely cold, you haven't talked to them, they're a year old, I never delete a lead unless they tell me to get lost. They bought a house with another agent, which happens. If you don't stay in touch, you'll find out the hard way. I know I've learned that lesson far too many times. Or if they're not opening emails after like 6 months and I don't have a working phone number. So you can track to see when people are opening emails. If someone hasn't opened a single email in 6 months and I've sent them 100 emails, they're not going to start opening them out of the blue. So I'm going to delete that person. But if I don't have a phone number and they're opening emails, I'm never going to delete them. You'd be surprised. Sometimes out of the blue, somebody who signed up a year ago sees a listing. Maybe they weren't ready at that time. When they first came through, they weren't ready. They were just kind of passively researching, but then life happened, they got more serious, they got pregnant, job transfer, and they're still getting listings from you. And then out of the blue, a listing comes up, it catches their eye, they want to go see it. That's happened to me. So as long as people are viewing the emails, I'm going to keep them in the system. If they're not viewing the emails and I don't have a working phone number, or if I don't have a working email address or phone number, obviously I'm not going to hunt them down on social media and stalk them. Some agents do that. No, thank you. I'm not going to take it to that level. So yeah, that's my rule of thumb. If they're viewing the emails, they stay in the system. Try that Hail Mary email I mentioned to you. It works. John says, "I started using BombBomb and I'm getting good results." That's great. BombBomb's amazing. I talk about it in my course. It's in the email and automation section at the end. And I talk to you about how you can combine it with Agent Locator to actually automate the video emails, right? So you can pre-record some generic video emails, like obviously you're not addressing them by name. You're saying, "Hi, thanks for visiting Find Me a Toronto Home. It's great that you're thinking of buying a property. I specialize in working with home buyers. My goal is to follow up and ensure that you receive unusually great service." So you can take the same script as your emails, but just in a video format. Obviously, you're not including their name because you don't know who you're going to be sending them to. And you can record 10 or 15 of these videos. The next one, "Hey, just wanted to follow up, wondering what you thought of the listings I've been sending you. What was your time frame to move again by?" And I talked to you about this in my course. It's all there. I give you examples. That's worked very well. And that's when you automate it, but the more personalized you can make it, the more effective it's going to be. So what I'm talking about is automating a bunch of cold leads. But if you're in relationship with someone, or you started talking to someone, or let's say you just have the time and every time a lead comes in, you shoot a quick video and you address them by name. And you say, "Hi, Maria. Thanks for joining me on findmeatorontohome.com. Thanks for visiting my site. I see you're looking for a home in Etobicoke between 600,000 and 700,000. I'd be happy to help with your search." Right? So you can personalize it. Anytime you personalize it, it's going to be more effective. It's just a matter of whether you have the time to do that. But that's great, John. I'm glad you're using BombBomb. It's a very powerful technology. There's another one called Dubb, D-U-B-B, which I've been using actually recently to get back in touch with some past clients. And it's a little bit cheaper, very similar. So check that one out as well, DUBB. It's pretty great. John says, you have some very good dialogues. I'll certainly listen to this at least a few times. How do I do that? Agent Locator has not been able to answer that question for me. So basically, you create. I show you how to do it. Just watch the videos, John. It's very comprehensive. I show you how to create the video email automation campaign. Agent Locator needs to connect it to the landing page that you're promoting, because I don't know what landing page you're using to actually onboard those leads. But I show you how to create the campaign. I think it's the very last video in the course. It's called Creating a Video Email Drip Campaign. So check that out. And I walk you through step by step how to do that. I didn't like dub, John says. Different strokes, different folks. I mean, they're both good. Just depends on which one you're more comfortable with. But yeah, video is amazing. And specifically, emailing video is really powerful. Email videos or video emails rather, because you can personalize it, and people are very responsive to that. You know, you're putting a face to your name. It's really a way to break the ice, get people comfortable, and get the dialogue going. And it's very, very effective. And the cool thing is, I think with Dub it works the same way, but I know with Agent Locator, and I show you how to do this in the video email automation module in the course. It shows a little clip of the video in the email. So like on your phone, when you see you have a new email, you open the email and it shows a moving, it's called a GIF. And it looks like an actual video, but it's technically like a series of photos, like boom, 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 but it's moving. So it shows you talking. Now, why does that matter? Because one of the biggest challenges is getting people to open your emails. People are getting inundated with emails all day long, nonstop. It never ends. But when they open an email and they don't even have to click anything. In the body of the email, they see a talking head. They're going to open that. Okay, I don't care how many emails they have coming in, how swamped they are, they will open that email because it's engaging, it's enticing. They can't not open that email. So that's huge, because now your open rates are going to skyrocket. People are going to really pay attention. You're going to catch them, and you're going to stay top of mind. Sometimes it's the little things like that that really, really create a big splash and make a big difference. John says, write a book on dialogues and I'll buy the first copy. Well, it's funny you mention that, because I think, don't quote me on this, but I think I might be creating another course, like a complimentary course, all about follow-up and converting, best practices, things that have worked well for me. So Future-Proof Agent is all about converting leads. I have some, follow-up tutorial lessons on emails and automation, but I was thinking about going very deep with the follow-up specifically as like a part 2. I have no idea about what that's going to look like and the details, but I'll keep everyone posted once I can kind of flesh that idea out a little more. But yeah, there's been a lot of interest in, okay, now I have the leads, what do I do? Obviously, that's important. So they're both really critical, and they both obviously work together. John says, you're very good at it. Thank you, sir. Well, I've been doing it for a while, so I damn well better be by now. 12 years in the business. If I don't know how to convert leads, there's a problem. But I appreciate it. Thank you for saying that. All right, guys, we're just about at 1 o'clock. Does anyone else have any last questions that I can address? I hope this was helpful. I hope this was a good use of your time. I'm very grateful for your support and for, investing in the program, investing in me. And I really want to help you guys succeed as much as possible. So I encourage you to participate in these, keep showing up. I took some time off for the summer because I was traveling, but I'm going to be doing them monthly. And if you have any questions in the meantime, fire off any last minute questions here. Otherwise, you can post in the group, and I'm happy to answer your questions as they come in and help you guys in any way that I can. John says, I got here late, but I know it was good. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you showing up and for contributing. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining and for tuning in. I wish you all a phenomenal week and happy lead generating. Let me know how you're doing. Reach out if I can help you, and we'll connect again soon. Bye, everyone.